Okay, this is what we're talking about today. Persist, persist, persist. If you aren't persisting in the assumption and affirming in the assumption of what it is that you desire, then you don't really understand law of assumption. Hey everyone, I am Kim Velez and I'm super excited to be here with you. I am a licensed mental health therapist as well as a conscious life and success coach. And before we jump in, I want to remind you that if you want free support, I obviously have this channel, but I have my free Facebook group. I also have my free podcast. It's called the Secure Girl Podcast. A new episode drops every Wednesday. All the details, links are in the description box below. And if you want a little bit of ass kicking from a place of love and you need a little bit of support to stay persistent in your affirmations and your assumptions of creating the reality that you want, then I also have email coaching and I have a paid Facebook group, which is only $30 a month. I have all amazing stuff. So anything you want to know, links are in the description box below. So enough about that. Let's jump right in. So this is where I'm going to challenge you because listen, this is coming from a place of love, but I got to kick your ass a little bit because this is what I struggled with. And this is for the people that really aren't understanding the law of assumption, that aren't understanding everyone as you pushed out. You have to fucking persist, my friends. There is no other way. So you are creating your reality and you create your reality with the vision that you hold dominantly, the assumptions, the beliefs, the thoughts that you are spinning around all fucking day long. That is what is being reflected back to you. So when you want to have a new reality, then we have to think it from the new reality. You have to think differently. You can't keep thinking from the old reality because that's what you're going to keep creating. So you think from the new reality, you assume new assumptions from your new reality, and you have to reaffirm that and hold that over and over and over again until it becomes your dominant assumption, your dominant thought pattern. Like there is no other way. So what happens to most people is they don't understand that what they're thinking and focusing on primarily is creating their reality. Like they have a very vague understanding of that, but if they really understood it, and I know because this has been my own personal like wake up moment a couple weeks ago, right? Where it just all fucking finally clicked for me in a way I've never understood before. That your only job is to hold the story, hold the vision, hold the dominant thinking pattern in your mind that is about what you want to have in your life, right? Is about you shifting into the new reality where you are this way, that this is how people see you, that this is how your SP is coming in, or a new romance or money or what the fuck ever you want, right? And that is all you have to do. And you're not going to believe it all at first, right? Because none of us do, but it's just affirming it because eventually the more you repeat it, you impress it upon your subconscious mind. So most people though don't really understand that. Most people think like, oh, I'm just going to repeat something 3 to 4 times a day and then it's going to manifest in 2 days. And then when it doesn't, they're upset and they go right back to the old vision, the old assumptions, the old beliefs, and they don't persist in what the fuck they want. And then they get frustrated. And I know, I get it. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. But this is what it takes to have your breakthrough. This is what it takes to get what the fuck you want. Like there is no other way. It's you. It has nothing to do with anyone else. So what can you do on the days when the doubt creeps in? Because the doubt will creep in, my friends. I still get doubt sometimes, but I don't dwell in it. I don't live in it. I don't allow it to consume me. We're fucking human. You're going to have doubt. So what you do is when that doubt kicks in, you have to find affirmations, visualization, something to fucking make you feel calmer, to get you out of that doubt, to get you off focusing on those assumptions and thoughts that are not in your favor, that are opposing and against what it is you want to manifest for yourself. So what I personally use is this. I have 2 things that I do. One is if I am affirming on something specific and it's bringing up resistance, or my mind is like, no, bitch, it ain't happening for you today. Like one of those days my mind is having, then this is what I do. I use the Ho'oponopono prayer. I listen to the meditation that Jason Stevenson has because it's like an hour and I like his voice. So I just play that shit in the background, and then this is what happens. I make my mind focus on what he's saying. I'm repeating it inside my brain. So within like 2 to 3 minutes, I'm already calm because now I'm not in the doubt. Now my brain isn't attached to the old story and the old assumptions and causing doubt and disbelief, right? So I've just refocused it. That's all you're doing is refocusing your mind. So once I do that with that Ho'oponopono prayer, then this is what happens. I feel better, and then I start reaffirming my new story. And I just do that over and over and over again on days where it might be a little bit harder for me to just naturally do it on my own. The second thing that I do, if I'm experiencing resistance, focusing on a specific affirmation, then what I do is I go general. And when I go general, it still infers and it still implies the same experience I want to have. So for those of you trying to manifest your SP back or changes in your SP, this is what I highly recommend. So when you're affirming the actions you want to see from your SP and it's not showing up in 3D and you start spinning and holding the old story, holding all the old assumptions, holding all the doubt and disbelief, and again, you're still creating that reality because now that's your dominant thought pattern again, then what you can do instead is go general. Instead of your SP, you could say men or women, right? The men or women in my life always love me. The men and women in my life, they show up fully committed and invested in me. The men or women in my life always have my back and always treasure me and adore me. The men and women in my life, they love me. They always choose me. Like go general because you're still inferring the same fucking thing. And what you're doing is you're changing your concept of self. You're saying, well, this is my reality that I'm holding, where anyone I'm dating, anyone I'm involved with has to treat me this way because that's the assumption I'm holding on to. So it has to happen from your SP too. So this is how you can really continuously hold the story, the assumptions, the beliefs, the thoughts dominantly so that you manifest what it is you want when you're experiencing doubt or resistance. So that's a trick that I use personally. Another thing you can do is what I was saying before is change your concept of self. Like you have to remember who the fuck you are. You have to build that concept of self, which is self-love. I got to think higher of myself. I am the prize. I am the one that's good enough to receive this. Why the fuck am I not? Who says you're not? You do. You're saying it, but nobody else is. They're just reflecting back to you. And when you stay in that assumption that people don't love me, people don't want me, I never get money, I'm always broke, whatever it is, then you're not creating a state of consciousness or a reality where people view you that way. So changing your concept of self is so important. So find something, a mantra that fits for you. I'm a badass bitch. I say that to myself all the time. It gets me right into my little fucking attitude, right? I say things like, I got it all. I am the woman who always has it going on. I get everything that I want. I have a lot of little things like that I say that just take me and remind me of who I am. So you have to, practice that for yourself too. Change how you view you. Who do you want to be? Because when you start affirming something different about you, you're moving into a new reality. You're holding a new assumption of who you are, and then that has to be reflected back to you. So you're going to win either way because you're creating a reality where you're getting everything that you want. So you want to focus on changing your concept of self, raising your worth in your eyes, reminding yourself of who you truly are, and changing the assumptions about whatever it is that you want to experience, especially in SP, even if it's money. If it's money, instead of focusing on a specific dollar amount by a certain date, if that's causing too much resistance, go general with money. Money flows into my life faster than water does. Every time I, check my phone, there's a new, deposit in my bank account. Money's always coming to me. Money loves me. Money has my back. It's like my best friend. It always wants to find me and it always wants to be around me. Every dollar I spend comes back to me tenfold. Every time I spend money, it always comes back to me multiplied. Like start creating a story, because you're still going to get the specificity of what you want, but this just helps you kind of get out of that resistance, because you're still moving and holding an assumption of a reality that is you getting money, that has money coming to you constantly, that you have a different belief system about money, or a different thought pattern, I should say, assumptions of how money's showing up in your life. So that's all it is. You have to stay persistent in it, even on the days when you're doubting it, when you want to check the 3D and you're like, oh, it's still not here. Okay, so what do? Affirm, affirm, affirm. Go visualize. Do what you need to do. Feel it. Connect to it. Don't robotically say it. How would you feel if this person called you today? How would you feel living from the end? And I'm not saying you have to feel super elated, right? It's really just understanding that I'm just connecting to who I am and the reality that I want. That's it. So if I affirm, I want to have some sense of calmness, because I know the affirmations I say make me feel good. And if they kick up resistance, it's only because my ego is trying to come in, or my old story, and like challenge it and try to get me to go back to the old assumptions, right? So when I do that, I help myself. I get myself, like I said, with the whole Ho'oponopono prayer, or I go general my affirmations until I feel better. And then I just reaffirm the specificity. I cannot say that word, you know what I mean, of what it is that I want. So that's really all you have to do, but like, you have to fucking do it, and you have to stay persistent in it. Like there is just no other way. Like, this is how it hardens into fact. It doesn't usually harden into fact one time. It doesn't. I have a video, I don't even know where it is on my YouTube channel, where for 6 weeks, when I was moving out of my office back in November, and they were trying to, fuck me over with money and all kinds of things, and they kept coming back. After every time it seemed like we came to a resolution, they kept coming back over 6 weeks saying I owed money, it was going to be this, it was going to be that. And I stayed persistent in the story and the assumption that, nope, this is working out in my favor. Nope, I'm not going to owe anything. They're going to figure this out. I'm going to be good. I'm going to come out better on top, right? I'm going to come out better in this. And for 6 weeks, they kept coming at me, and I didn't react. I didn't go, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose my money, blah, 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 and go in this old fucking story. No, I stayed persistent in the assumption that this is working out in my favor, that I'm not going to owe a fucking thing, that I'm going to get out of this office lease easy peasy. That was my mantra. That was my story. That was my assumption. That is what was my dominant thought pattern about this subject. And I held that vision over and over again, no matter what the fuck 3D was telling me. And let me tell you something, in 6 weeks, they came back to me after like 5 different fucking hassles with them. And they actually ended up paying me a shit ton of money. And I still have no idea to this day where that money came from or why, but I wasn't questioning it. I took it. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, this is the stuff you just have to do. You just have to persist. There's no other way. Stop giving up. Stop going back to the old assumptions, the old thought patterns that are dominant in your mind that are creating the reality that you don't want. You have to understand law of assumption. You have to understand everyone is you pushed out. So if you found this video helpful, I really love you guys. I want to support you. I want you to get what the fuck you want, which is why I'm doing these videos, because I just have this clarity like I've never had before, and I'm excited about it. And if you feel like you want to work with me, again, everything is in the description box below. Check out my email coaching. It's fun. Check out my group. My group is so much fun. And love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.